Hello and welcome to West Wales. Today I'm out with the dog for a little walk and we're probably going to do a bit of a walk and a talk. We're on one of our regular walks by the stream. You can see everything is looking very brown and the colours are changing, but we're not getting anything very dramatic. I think it's just this weather has been just so kind of weird. There is a little bit of colour, not a huge amount. Quite a grey sky, bit of mizzle in the air. I think autumn is finally here. It's been quite a busy few days trying to get stuff together for the spin along. I mean, really, it was just an idea I had a couple of weeks ago and people seem to be really interested, so I've kind of gone in whole hog, which I guess is a good thing. For me, it's going to be quite a long project because I'm spinning 27 different breeds. I think if you join the spin along, you don't have to spin all 27, just spin as many as you want, you know, it's fine. I'm really looking forward to it, and I am seriously considering whether I actually need to put stuff on a website again. I had a website for about 18 months and I really just kind of, I didn't quite know what to write on it and it didn't really work. And then suddenly I have something to write on it and of course I let it go. So I might need to redo it. And I was writing on Substack. Substack just doesn't really work for me. I guess I'm really used to WordPress, and I have used WordPress for years. And it doesn't quite do what I want it to do, if that makes sense. So things to think about. I've also managed to completely mess up my template that I use for my newsletters. I've got to redo that. I mean, I have got the basis of it. I mean, I don't have to rewrite everything. There is quite a lot still in existence. And also I do tend to write my documents on Google as Google Docs and then transfer into other things. So I have got lots of stuff already saved, so I'm not going to have to go and rewrite a load of things. I just need to kind of reformat it. Hey ho, all good stuff. Right, well, I hope you are very well and I've got an exciting project going on. So just let me know in the comments what you're up to, what you've been doing this week. Always love to find out what you've been crafting, whether you've been out and about. And yeah, I'm going to carry on with the walk. And I think this is going to be a kind of weekly vlog, so I'm probably just going to pop in every day or so and sort of say hello and share a little bit about what I've been doing. And in between that, I need to film the next video for the spin along, which, because this is going to be sort of a week behind, you will already have seen. But I want to put together like a glossary of terms, which will probably be in the newsletter, I think. That's my thinking at the moment, but I'm very much kind of thinking aloud. Anyway, I will see you either a bit later on today or in a few days' time. Today we're at Strumble Head, which is on the North Pembrokeshire coast. You can see the light is shining bright, as the girls say, and it's quite warm, bit of a wind blowing. So if you ever find yourself in North Pembrokeshire, this is one of the places that I think you really should come. And there's a couple of reasons. Lighthouse, obviously, really interesting. And also the bird observatory, because the other side of the island, that unfortunately you can't see from here because it's so foggy, is a bird sanctuary. And in the spring you get lots of nesting seabirds. But actually, even this time of the year, because of where the bird observatory is, you can actually stand in the bird observatory and see the seabirds flying past, and they're kind of at eye level. So the little dog is running about and we're just going to have a little explore. Andrew is taking photographs. He was really hoping to get something for our calendar, but whether he will today I'm not sure because the sky is quite white. So I'm going to turn the camera around, show you a little bit where we are. There's quite a swell round the rocks. Now I just keep an eye on Millie, because if a rabbit came out, she would be after it. She's got very good recall, I've got a lead, and she doesn't like to venture far from me, but I do just make sure that she's never too close to the edge. And that definitely is something you need to consider if you are coming and walking on the coastal path with young children and young dogs. I think old dogs, they just, they're kind of like, nah, I can't be doing with that. Right, okay, so bird observatory. Not a thing of beauty from the outside, but surprisingly, because it's the colour it does actually merge into the background quite well. So let's go inside. We're out of the wind, under cover, so we can look out of the windows. Well, they're not windows, there's no glass in them, but we can look out and actually see the seabirds going past. If there happens to be some dolphins out there, we could see the dolphins. And all around the walls, and I shall turn you around and so you can see, all around the walls you've got information about what birds you could see, and just kind of really good information about Strumble Head. You might see seals as well, and potentially you can see puffins, but definitely you can see dolphins. Probably not this time of the year, in the drizzle. Okay, so we've got a really good map here that shows you where we are. We are there, Strumble Head. And the coastal path goes all the way around coast, obviously. So all the information is bilingual, so it's in Welsh and English. And the only thing is, if you are a wheelchair user, like Andrew is, my partner, you're not going to be able to get down here with the best will in the world. So that's why he is up at the top of the car park taking photographs from the car, and he has a window mount that actually just sits on the window so that he can either mount binoculars or cameras on, so he gets to see the wildlife too. But really, as getting out and getting about, this unfortunately is not one of those accessible areas. I do try and include information about accessibility when we're out and about, but this one definitely not particularly accessible. But really nice, if you just don't mind sitting in the car and watching the world go by, it's a good place. No public toilets here. There is a good bus stop, and in the season you can actually walk the coastal path and sort of hop on and off a bus that will either take you back the way you came or take you a little bit further on. And generally people take about 2 weeks to walk the coastal path. Well, my goodness, what a difference a day makes to the weather. We are going to go back to Strumble Head, and there is no low cloud, there is no drizzle, so hopefully Andrew will be able to get shot and Millie and I will be able to have a walk, and you'll see it when it's not completely covered in mist and drizzle and being kind of not particularly pleasant. I mean, it was okay, but it is lovely up there, but it is more lovely when the weather is better. Now, I'm gonna make a flask of tea, and then I'm gonna pack a few supplies, because I'm probably gonna actually do a little bit of painting when we go up there. Right, so I will turn the camera around and show you what I'm taking. So this is what I'm taking, and this is my portable easel, and then in here are my art supplies. Very important. I'm taking some bins just so I can actually see a bit further out to see if I can spot any birds. Bottle of water for drinking and also for making art with. Then we have a little travel watercolour set. And then this little one has got lots of little sort of iridescent and metallic paints, which I quite like to add then little pot for water. This was dug up by our pigs when we used to keep them in the woodland. Not that we have pigs anymore, but when we had pigs, this was dug up by the pigs. Then I have my pencils, paintbrushes, good stuff like that. And then 2 sketchbooks, and one is just for sort of doodling, like that. Probably other doodles in here. Oh no, not, I've taken quite a lot of the doodles out. There you go, as a doodle. And then this is cold pressed watercolour paper. And sometimes, not all times, sometimes when we go out, I just do a very loose watercolour sketch. And you can see I was just sort of doing the houses. I mean, they're not very detailed. And then occasionally I do something that I actually use for my invitations. And that Sleepy Fox is on one of my invitations. And then that's just very quick one of Goodick, the outer marker. So it was just a very loose sort of sketch of, you know, sort of May. And yeah, I mean, just a bit of fun really. And then messing about with a bit of abstract. And, you know, just making shapes and having fun really. Not very serious. Sometimes, as I say, sometimes I do actually use the things, and then a bit of wonky art. Quite like a bit of wonky art sometimes. So, as I say, just whatever takes my fancy. And sometimes I paint and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I knit, sometimes I read, sometimes I write. So what will happen is we'll set up, Andrew will be in the car taking his photographs, Millie and I will go out for a walk, and then quite often we'll come back and Andrew is still taking photographs. He could be waiting for a sunset, all sorts of things, and I just sit in the car or sit on a bench outside and yeah, do a bit of doodling or reading or knitting or, you know, whatever it is that takes my fancy that day. And today, a bit of painting is taking my fancy. Anyway, going to make the tea and then we're off. So she's just seen a rabbit. Oh dear. Okay, don't get lost down a rabbit hole, please, dog. As I've said before, this is why I keep a very close eye on her when we were up on the cliff path, because if the rabbit sort of went towards the sea, she would be after it. It's now Saturday morning. Stormbert has hit us with a vengeance, so filming any more outside is just going to be a bit impossible. You can probably hear the vehicles. I'm on my way to Haverfordwest, and I just wanted to pop in and say a couple of things. So Wednesday's video, I'm spinning flonk, and then the next video, I've got a little bit of sewing for you because somebody had asked me, are you going to fit more sewing in? Yes, absolutely. I just have been sort of, you know, trying to sort out the spin along. So that's what the plan is. You may have noticed that I have removed the mid-roll ads. They were just getting ridiculous, and I think it's because I changed scenes quite a lot that the algorithm was literally putting in an advert every 2 minutes. And that just, no, that's not really what I wanted. So hopefully going forward, no adverts in the middle. I haven't managed to get all of it removed because there are some older videos that I haven't managed to do yet. I am working my way through it, so hopefully they will all be removed. I did just want to drop in a picture of my little sketch that I did while we were up at Strumble Head on the second day, so when you could actually see a few things. And I've got one last request, and that is that if you've enjoyed this content, then please would you consider subscribing, because it really does make a difference to me. I have a blast making these videos. I hope you enjoy them. I also have a buy me a coffee, and that really does help me pay for editing video and some of the music that I use in the videos. I will put a link in the description below. So until next time, have a wonderful week.